Hey, it's Justin Bevins again, and we're in video number 10 of our home buying series where I walk you through the process of buying a home in California or Nevada, the two states where I'm a licensed broker. And in this video, we're going to talk about appraisal and conditional loan approval. So what will happen is when you get that offer accepted, the lender is going to want an appraiser to go out and appraise the property. They're going to hire an appraiser through a third-party appraisal management company. You're probably going to have to pay for it. They may ask you for a credit card up front. Maybe the lender pays for it and you reimburse them at the end. But these days, most of the time, the buyer does pay for their own appraisal. So the appraiser is going to go out to the property. They're going to measure the property. They're going to take photos of the property. And then they're going to compare the property to recently sold properties in the area, maybe going back about 3 months. And the idea here is they're trying to justify the value of the property for the lender. They're only getting hired to make sure that you're not overpaying for the property. So most of the time the appraisal comes in right on the money. Sometimes it's a little high, not very often, and sometimes it comes in low. Now if it comes in low, you have a bit of a problem, but there are some things you can do. The first thing is the buyer, if they want to, could come in with the difference. If they had the extra cash over and above their down payment, they could apply that cash and come in to make up the difference between the short appraisal and the purchase price. The second thing that could happen is the seller could come down on the purchase price. They might feel that they have to, based on what the appraiser has to say and based on what's going on in the market. So sometimes sellers will come down on the price, or maybe a combination of the two. Buyer might throw in some and seller might throw in some. The third thing that could happen is you could challenge the appraisal, but a challenge only works if you can prove that the appraiser made a mistake. So usually that challenge is started or initiated by the loan officer or the mortgage broker, and what you have to prove is that the appraiser made some mistakes, either in the way they valued the adjustments for the comps, or maybe they missed some comps, something like that that would show that you're justified in that higher price over and above the appraisal. The fourth thing that could happen is the parties could just walk away. The purchase is usually contingent on an appraisal unless the buyer removed that contingency at the very beginning of the transaction. So that means that if the appraisal doesn't come in, either party could technically cancel the agreement usually. So if the appraisal is all good, then what's going to happen is the lender's going to start working on your conditional loan approval. And that just means that they've looked at the file, put it through underwriting, the appraisal's good, the buyer's good, the financials are good, everything's good, and that basically is the thumbs up to get this thing moving towards closing. And that conditional loan approval is what you're looking for. Usually, somewhere between 17 and 21 days, you want to have a pretty good feeling from your lender that everything's good and they're going to be able to close this loan. So that's our review of appraisal and conditional loan approval. We'll see you on the next video.